our next induction. And to do that, we mentioned him earlier, longtime national team coach Ryan Shimabukura.
First of all, I want to say congratulations to all the award recipients tonight and to the Golds family on just well-deserved induction into the Hall of Fame. So, I am truly honored to be standing here to be able to give the induction speech for Nick Cool Guy Pearson. I first got to meet Nick and his family when I moved to Wisconsin in the summer of 1989. I was 16 years old. Nick was about to turn 10. So I've known the Pearsons for a really, really long time. Nick comes from a great USB skating family. His parents, Butch and Althea, who are here tonight, have been at every weekend competition at the Pettit and the outdoor Wisconsin Olympic rink for decades. They still continue to officiate every weekend through the competition season, supporting all the up-and-coming new speed skaters. So speed skating runs very deep in the family. His older sister Erica is also a speed skater, and again, Nick is married to Annie Pearson, who was a 2002 Olympian here at the Salt Lake City Games as well. So, in our younger years, we trained together with Bob Fenn, aka Roscoe in Milwaukee. So the left side picture is us getting off the plane in San Antonio, Texas for the 1993 U.S. Olympic Festival. I was the oldest competitor. I was 21. Nick was the youngest, about to turn 14. So it was about 110 degrees as we got off that plane in July in San Antonio. In our younger years, we trained together under Bob Fenn in Milwaukee. Then we became competitors until I turned into a coach. And I had the privilege of coaching Nick for 7 of his 8 seasons from 2002 to 2010. And after that, we became co-workers at US Speed Skating after he retired from competition. In my first year as the national team coach, when I took over after the 2002 games, Nick broke his boot, his Marchese boot, about a week or so before we left for Nagano, Japan for the first World Cup of the season. So he wasn't on the ice for leading into the start of the season. And when we got to Nagano, we got in a little bit late, budget reasons. And on the first day of competition, when he's warming up before the first 1,000-meter race, he looks over at me and he goes, "Right, guy, if I open up in 17, don't worry." Now, if you know, Nick wasn't known as the fastest starter in the world, but 17 is slow in the opening 200 meters for the 1,000. Well, he did open up in 17, and I was worried. But he overcame that slow start with 2 fast laps and just missed the victory by 0.05 of a second. He came back the next day and podiumed again with a bronze medal. And he might not have known this at the time, but Nick earned me my first international senior medals as a national team coach. So thank you. He was introduced to speed skating at 5 years old when his parents took him and Erica to the outdoor Wisconsin Olympic rink before it became the Pettit National Ice Center. Butch grew up skating on the flooded frozen ponds and baseball fields in West Allis, Wisconsin, so he instilled a passion for skating for which Nick quickly gravitated to. Whether it was driving Nick and Erica all over the Midwest for skating competitions or just providing moral support, Nick credits his family and his parents for his success, and they were his #1 fans, obviously so. Nick always dreamed of going to the Olympic Games, and in 1998, just before the Olympic trials, unfortunately he was diagnosed with mononucleosis. And he was unsuccessful at qualifying, and his Olympic dream had to be postponed for 4 years. In 2002, Nick qualified for the Games in 2 events, the 1,000 and 1,500 meters, where he finished 6th and was just a few tenths off the medal-winning events. medal winning pace in both events. Nick was determined to return to the Olympic Games in 2006, but unfortunately, the 2006 season was when that would make Nick take a step back from the sport. He just missed qualifying for the Olympic team and took time to evaluate what he was doing wrong and make the necessary changes. He was determined to use this disappointing season as inspiration for the future, as he made the needed adjustments and qualified for the 2010 Olympic team, where he finished 7th in the 1,000 meter. After retiring from the competition in 2010, Nick was hired as program coordinator for US speed skating in 2011 and quickly moved into the program director role in 2013. After working for US speed skating for 6 years, Nick and his family moved back to the Midwest so they could be closer to their families. The Midway Speed Skating Club in Roseville, Minnesota hired Nick as their program director, where he's now served for more than 7 years. Besides his 2 Olympic Games appearances, Nick also competed in either the World Sprint Championships and or the World Single Distance Championships for 10 straight seasons from 2000 to 2009. With his highest placement being a 5th place finish in the 1,000 meter at the 2003 World Single Distances in Berlin. He also had 137 ISU World Cup starts from 1997 to 2010, having won 3 individual medals, 1 silver and 2 bronzes, along with 20 top 10 finishes. As a junior, Nick competed in 3 Junior World Championships from 1997 to 1999, winning 3 individual medals, also silver and 2 bronzes, and having placed 4th and 5th overall in the 1999 and 98 Junior World Championships respectively. He was crowned the U.S. National Sprint Champion in 2000 and was a 2-time U.S. National Age Group Champion in 1992 and 95, along with becoming a North American Age Class Champion in 1995. A tremendous competitive and professional resume, to say the least. So let's take a look at some of the highlights from his career.
Sunday, the personal record of the 1,000 meter 108.39 from the USA, Nick Pearson.
One last thing, if you're ever on a flight with Nick and you see him come out of the bathroom with only 1 sock on, just know it's for a good reason. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the 2025 inductee, Nick Pearson.
All right, if I make it through this this might be a bigger accomplishment than any of those. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for being here tonight. A lot of people came to surprise me tonight, which was overwhelming, and I appreciate it, from out of town and from all over. Recognition means the world to me. Bear with me as I go through this, hopefully I make it through. I want to start out by thanking the Hall of Fame committee, especially Jerry Steele, who nominated me, and the Hall of Fame members for voting for me. It's a great honor. To be next to the skaters I have looked up to for my entire skating career means a ton. It would have been amazing to go into the Hall of Fame with my dad, who was inducted last year, but now we get 2 amazing trips to Utah, which is great to come back here. I actually lived in Utah for about 20 years, which is longer than I've lived anywhere else. It almost feels like home to me. So it's great to be back. I've been to a number of these Hall of Fame dinners over the years, and I think they're truly inspiring. I've loved every single one of them. I think our national team athletes should be required to come, because I really do think it inspires you to build on what you're doing in skating. I love it. But I will say, and she's actually here tonight, Barbara Lockhart has been my favorite speech. When you came and were up here a couple of years ago, the sacrifices you made to be successful in the sport was inspiring for me to hear, and to join you in the Hall of Fame now is an honor. Honored to receive this award, but it's been a hell of a journey, a heck of a roller coaster of a career of mine, but it has been a team effort, and I mean that 100%, and I need to thank all those people that were part of my team along the way. Number one is US Speed Skating. I do think they take an unwarranted beating from time to time, and the amount of success that this organization has been able to accomplish with the limited resources they have is beyond remarkable. I mean, we look at the number of people in this room tonight that have had success in the sport, and I'm beyond grateful myself for what they've given me over my career, both skating and in work, so thank you to them. My coaches. I hope I got all of them, and I hope that I have them all in the right order here. John Schobot was my first coach, Bob Fenn, Jerry Steele, Diane Holm, Dave Besteman, and Tama Sundstrom, Mike Crow, Bart Shelton, Finn Halverson, and Ragai. That's a lot of coaches. I did skate for about 30 years, so, but maybe it was just I was a pain in the ass. I don't know. Don't answer that right. Either way, each of these coaches were a piece of my puzzle, and I appreciate everything they've brought to my skating career. My teammates, there's a number of them here tonight. One thing I've noticed in my time in speed skating, it seems like the successful eras in the sport, you look at it and you see amazing friendships and teammates that are around those athletes that had that success. And I was grateful enough to be a part of one of those groups. And like I said, a number of those people are here tonight. I'm not going to name them all because I'll end up missing someone and feel horrible about it, but each of you know who you are. Most of you are still some of my best friends, and we'll probably be in touch for the rest of our lives. We push each other, support each other. We don't lose touch. The stories we're going to be able to tell our children, and maybe grandchildren someday, are going to be amazing. But some of those might have to wait till they're adults. My parents. Raga talked a lot about their commitment to this sport, how my dad grew up skating on flooded baseball fields in West Allis, where we grew up. A number of his closest friends were in the West Allis Speed Skating Club back in the day. And about 20 years later, further down the road, actually, missing a spot here, sorry. When he was in high school, the West Allis Central Marching Band played for the opening of the Wisconsin Olympic rink, which is the rink that stood where the Pettit Center currently stands. To think 20 years after that, he brought us to the rink. Let's just say we never left. was truly a family sport for us. Driving all over the Midwest in our van. Our family vacations were amazing places like Champaign, Illinois, St. Louis, Missouri, Roseville, Minnesota, all the tropical destinations of the nation. But thank you, Mom and Dad, for your unconditional support. Wouldn't be here without you. My sister was also a skater. Thanks to this sport, we spent a lot of time together. She turned into one of my biggest fans after she decided to hang it up. She was busy with college and still came out to Butte, Montana to cheer me on at U.S. Junior Championships one year by herself. I'll never forget that. And then just the amount of support she had for me over my career. Always had amazing signs at all the competitions. So yes, thank you, Erica, for everything you've done. My wife, again, as you've heard, met Ann in skating. She was also a speed skater, a very successful speed skater. But we were about 10 years old, I think, when we met at the competitions in the Midwest. Who would have thought 35 years later, we both have this much success in the sport. We'd be where we are right now, both on an Olympic team together, our first Olympic team together, 3 amazing kids, and I think we're happy, right? No, joking. But in 2003, after a very successful year, actually, I decided it was time for me to move on. But if anyone knows me very well, that didn't last long. I decided I wanted to try skating again, and she didn't even flinch. She was fully supportive and pushed me, and I know it wasn't easy. And then I did it again in 2007, and again, was fully behind me and supported me all those years. And then to have your family support over the last few years of my career too has been really special, so thank you. And her parents are here tonight too. So thank you, Ann, for all your support. Again, this Hall of Fame recognition was a shock to me, more than I ever expected. There are a number of skaters who I grew up skating with, who I looked up to, either as older competitors or even as teammates, that I think at some point deserve a nod, and I'm truly honored to be a part of the Hall of Fame now to hopefully get them in this Hall of Fame as well in the future. So again, thank you very much. Thank you, Speedscape, for putting on an amazing event. Thank you everyone for being here tonight, and let's have a few drinks.